So a couple of things before I get into my vlog. I noticed things here and there I forgot to mention, like my name, who I am, such things like that. So I'm Sam, aka Squishy Sam online. A lot of people know me from MTV Catfish or from high school, from my wrestling videos, but I do have a lot more to me than just those things. I have been battling a very long time struggle with my health and illness for the past 15 years of my life. It's been very difficult because I've been in and out of doctors, specialists, testing, and put my trust into so many people we depend on nowadays, and realizing I was basically dying in my 20s and that I needed to do something, and I needed to do something for myself fast because nobody else was going to do it for me. So this is a glimpse and a series on my journey with finding my diagnosis, starting treatment. It has been over a year on treatment now. All I have to say is it has been a very long and crazy ride, but my illness has taught me so much about life, and it's taught me so much I never would have known before and would have never learned before, and I am thankful for my illness. So it's nothing to feel bad about, but it is something that needs to be talked about. I also noticed in this video I don't really mention what's even my issue, what's even wrong with me. So I kind of just seem fairly normal and just going through this treatment, maybe for it seems like no reason. But again, Lyme disease is one of the biggest invisible illnesses. People can look absolutely normal, function normal, and be absolutely sick. I do try to persevere most of the time. I do have a super high pain tolerance being a wrestler, and this entire time I was a wrestler, I was sick. I was unknowingly sick the entire time. So a lot of my first symptoms were in my gut, a lot of kidney stones, irritable bowels, can't eat that many spicy foods without having an episode. Common things that you see nowadays. It just gradually grows to little things here and there. Sinusitis that grew chronic, that never went away. That's why I'm still always kind of nasally. Constant headaches, huge vein that goes through my head that causes me the constant headaches. What really started getting scary was when my body really started showing the symptoms. I started gaining a lot of weight to almost 200 pounds, and suddenly in a span of less than 5 months I lost all that weight, along with internal organ issues. I started having heart issues, really fast heart rate, stabbing heart pains and stabbing sharp pains in my side to where it just stops me from breathing. It stops me in my tracks. It is scary to know now that I am at risk of heart attack at any moment. I developed autoimmunity where my immune system attacks itself because it can't fight or find the infections of Lyme disease, and without help it's going to continue to get worse. It took me so long to correlate the fact that me constantly being tired, sinuses, and my asthma, anemia, forgetfulness, memory loss, I all thought that was just a normal part of life because everyone goes through it. And it's crazy to know now that so many people in this world are sick. Ultimately, I just want to bring awareness to this hidden pandemic that we are currently and have been going through for a very long time. Lyme disease and vector-borne illness is a pandemic. It has reached every human in this world. Every country, every state in the USA has Lyme disease. It is currently the fastest growing infection in the United States right now. It's not really social media pushed. It's kind of hidden, pushed under the rug, and there's a lot of motives for that, but we will get into that in this vlog. It's a very serious issue, not taken serious enough in testing. It's still getting spread in insect vectors, animal vectors, can be congenital. It can come from your mom, your grandma who didn't even know they had it and just have symptoms. Blood donations, even me myself at 16. By then I'm severely infected with several infections just from having Lyme disease. I go to donate blood, and now knowing that I am infected with Lyme disease and other dangerous co-infections like Babesia, which is a parasite in the red blood cells, which does transfer in blood donations. This is why I'm making these videos and putting this out in the public, because there needs to be so much more awareness, movement, anything towards this serious issue. This vlog, I try to keep everything 100% real, as raw as possible, because I just want to show and expose the truth on everything on this topic. There's so many things to learn about, and honestly I can't really do anything without trying to educate, and I think education is a really important thing to have nowadays. I also do want to explain the fact that this is why this vlog ended up being so long long, most likely over an hour long. I have been editing it, over 15 hours of editing, and I've been putting this together for the past year, going through treatments. Trying to even be on treatment protocol for one day correctly has been impossible. I'm just thankful that I'm finally in a place to speak my voice. I just want to be that voice for others to know that it's okay to accept the fact that you're even sick and need help and need treatment, because I really believe that that's what took me the longest in this whole journey to even find my diagnosis. For so long I wanted to believe I'm not sick, I'm not sick, I'm not sick. I'm just a normal chick who every now and then has these episodes that I can't control. I have learned so much, and I have also made so many mistakes along the way. I have shown all my mistakes, I re-correct them, re-educate myself, and it was a huge learning process. You guys can learn along with me, really see how much there is to learn. And I have separate videos, like if you guys do want to just help me out my watch time hours, help me become partner, go ahead and watch my other videos. Those are a little bit longer, those go into more detail, so you can go ahead and click on those before even watching this one. Throughout this video, you will be seeing me a lot with the love of my life. He is going through this journey with me and has never left my side throughout this entire time, and I am very thankful for that, because without a support system with Lyme disease, there is over like an 80% chance that people commit suicide when you realize how alone you are with just not receiving help from others and not receiving support from family or friends, and realizing the CDC doesn't even recognize this as an illness. Treatment's not covered by insurance, and you have to pay thousands of dollars just to try to stay alive and become better. And a lot of the time it defeats people mentally. It is important to have a support system or someone to go through this with, or even, you know, animals. As you see, I've had animals in the background. They have helped me a lot emotionally as well. I don't know what I would do without all of them. So you will see them throughout the video, and all the music, beats throughout the video have been done by my man. I'm actually just gonna give
Alright, so I'm Marcus, aka Zycam, DJ, producer.
So yeah, that's who we are. But other than that, I really hope you guys enjoy my vlogs and enjoy the journey of my crazy ass life. Let me know what you guys think. Comment if you guys are going through similar. I'm always here to talk, and enjoy this long ass vlog. Say bye baby, bye baby. Alright, so this is vlog number 1, starting my treatment. Pretty much this is pre-treatment before the actual treatment, or just the beginning of the treatment, you could say. So my story of why I need this treatment is well, first technically when I was like 5 or 6, I got an infestation of lice on my head, and not knowing any better, and the education system not educating anyone properly. Angel, sit down! And lice being a huge carrier of stealth pathogens. Pathogen. A microorganism such as a bacteria, virus, fungi, parasite that cause illness and disease. Stealth pathogen. A pathogen that is able to hide from the immune system using multiple tactics to live and thrive within the body for long periods of time undetected. Pathogens like Borrelia and so many other different microbes that are dangerous to the body. And then again at the age of 12, getting bit up on a daily basis by ticks when I lived in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and not knowing anything about that area because I was in a military family, so I was always traveling from state to state, and we only stayed there for like a year. But in that year I walked to school, so I literally walked through like the woods, and at one point even got lost in the woods, and it was just an everyday thing to have ticks like under my armpits or under my boobs, or like hidden somewhere, my neck or something, and coming home and having to pick them off, and just thinking they're just another type of daily thing and not knowing any better. But now knowing that ticks are probably the worst disease vectors out of all the insects that there are. They carry Borrelia, they carry Bartonella, they carry H. pylori, they carry Mycoplasma, they carry so many different dangerous stealth pathogens and so many different things that can cause havoc within the body. Some hide in the joints and tissues, some hide in your organs like your brain, your heart, and your kidneys. And then some even hide inside your cells, like your red blood cells, and inside your white blood cells, and so many different things. They've been found to cause cancer, and all sorts of different research is coming out now about it. So I'm here to just kind of spread awareness about the topic and how many people have to go through these type of treatments, and the struggle of just having not the insurance covered, not CDC covered, and not supported because they just want to make money off of people's symptoms of chronic illness, because they know chronic illness symptoms like this go on for the rest of our lives. We'll be sick forever with so many different things that they can diagnose you with, different type of syndromes like fibromyalgia, arthritis, lupus, like MS, MCAS, and they'll never actually diagnose the underlying cause. Luckily, there is different type of doctors. There is conventional doctors, so the doctors that you know, insurance covered, CDC covered, but there came a point in time where these doctors saw this corruption, that they were just making money off of people's symptoms and not actually curing cancer patients or autoimmune patients or Lyme disease patients.
I'm guessing that my case, which could have been controlled with probably a single bottle of doxycycline, at the time I was bitten, probably would have cost something like $25 or $50 total, plus the doctor visit. As it is, I'm guessing that my case is now amounted to $75,000 to $100,000.
The other thing that happened was the rise of managed care. Insurance companies and HMOs realized that if they can get researchers in universities to define diseases and write guidelines for diseases a certain way, then they could help manage the escalating medical costs. And really what this means is the people who previously protected public health, so like the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, and the NIH, and universities who didn't have any commercial interests, all of a sudden they were partners with Big Pharma, and their motivations completely changed. We no longer had oversight and checks and balances in our scientific system in the US. It was rife with conflicts, and just now, 20 years later, we're beginning to see what happens when you have unchecked conflicts in medical care.
They saw that corruption and they decided to make their own type of medicine. So these type of medicines and doctors go by the name of integrative or functional doctors, also known as functional medicine doctor, Lyme literate medical doctor, naturopathic doctor, different than a naturopath. They actually do get targeted for successfully treating patients, and they can lose their doctor's license for doing stuff like this. A lot of people do know of alternative doctors like holistic practitioners, which those are good, but at the same time, these integrated doctors, they integrate both worlds. So they bring conventional medicines such as antibiotics, and then they bring in things of alternative medicine like herbals and tinctures and detoxes and things like that to support the body of trying to get rid of all these different pathogens and parasites. And people don't like the word parasite, and they think of these crazy worms, but everyone has parasites. We have tons of microbes living in our body. It's more unique than our own DNA is our microbiome, and our microbiome is made up of millions and millions of different microbes. And those are all parasites because those all live within our body and they feed off of us, and as long as we make them happy, they make us happy. And some are better than others, and unfortunately if you get directly bitten by an insect vector of disease, and that's like one of the worst ways of getting a very dangerous pathogen, because that's a microbe like your body's not used to. It's something that's just very more parasitic, just like people can understand malaria coming from mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are carriers of Lyme disease just as well. They're carriers of Borrelia, species of like Bartonella, and also spiders, lice, fleas, ticks. There's so many different insects that are now carriers of these things. And again, everyone's not like going back to school. They're not getting into books. They're not having to be re-educated again. So why is anyone going to even bother with this information? That's again why I'm doing this entire series, just to bring awareness to this topic, because so many people are sick nowadays. Like anyone I have a conversation with, or I even just randomly meet someone new and I hear about experiences they've been through in their life or with doctors, and I'm like, that person is sick. Like that person is chronically sick and they don't even know it, and I can see it. Tiny little symptoms of chronic illness that people should be looking out for. It's actually more rare to be healthy than it is to be not healthy anymore. It's like everyone's sick now and no one even realizes it.
One of the hallmarks of the onset of untreated Lyme is a multi-system involvement. Different parts of the body, things changing and moving around. You might have a few weeks of body aches, and then you might have a few weeks of headaches, and a few weeks of real profound fatigue, and a few weeks of confusion. Or you'll have pain in the large joints, and then it'll switch to the small joints. And then you're going to a neurologist, then you're going to a bone doctor, then you're going to a stomach specialist, then you're going to a counselor. And they get labeled as being crazy.
Severe headaches.
Cognitive problems.
Fatigue, headaches.
Cardiac arrhythmias.
It hurts on my foot.
Joint pain, I have arthritis.
I'm tired. I hurt.
Involuntary movements.
Brain fog.
I lost the use of my right arm.
I became dyslexic.
I had hallucinations.
Blurred vision.
Light sensitivity.
It's a long laundry list.
The thing is, we're so good at ignoring it. We're just strong people. And especially coming from a Hispanic culture, you're not supposed to talk about when you're in pain or when going through something rough. And you're supposed to just keep quiet. Like, you know, why you crying? Why you crying?
Everything was no. Birthday party? No, ¿qué birthday party? Mira, cabrón. You got a lot of things already. You don't need a party. No. Why are you crying now? No. Chuck E. Cheese. You want to see a mouse? Pull the refrigerator out. A fucking mouse back there. Pull it out. What the? By your feet! By your feet!
Something that needs to get rid of in this new generation, because our health needs to be taken more serious, or else we're just gonna have all these bacteria and these pathogens that are also antibiotic resistant become the next plague. And we've seen plagues come every like 500 years, and the time is soon. So the fact is, it's happening right in front of our faces. We see the coronavirus happening, so why can't we understand that the next plague could be possible, and it is coming? And the thing is, we have the smarts and we have the tools to stop it. We just have to bring the awareness around the world and not let all these and rich people and all these people that just want to have population control, don't let them do that. Make money off of all your symptoms your entire life. Don't get treatment, get help. And again, an integrative or functional doctor will be really the one to go deep with testing. And although testing and all these treatments, they cost money, it's out of pocket. But the thing is, you're saving your life. Like, you're not gonna have to pay for co-pays, pain pills for the rest of your life. That's gonna add up to way much more money than any of this will ever cost. And this is your life you're talking about. This is not just, oh, make your symptoms go away. This is literally things that are killing people, and they're not taking it serious, and they need real treatment. Also, the thing is, everyone can go through this treatment. Detoxing, these are herbals. If you do react badly to it, that means you probably need more treatment. That means your body is trying to fight something. But if you take it and you're perfectly fine and go through it like nothing, then you're good. Then you're even more healthier than you were before, and you got all the toxins out of you, and you're good to go. So really, this treatment doesn't hurt anyone. And really, anyone should be going to a functional or integrative doctor in general. Even if, like, you know, you have a cold, or if you want to see your child to a doctor, I would absolutely say just see that type of doctor.
My name is Dr. Afrouz Demary, and I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor and functional medicine practitioner at UC Irvine Health. My specialty chose me, I would say. I was seeing a lot of patients since 2007 with hormonal imbalance, GI issues, thyroid issues, poor stress management, mental emotional issues, and they were seeing so many different specialists, and I really was drawn to being that umbrella person that puts all those specialties in one area for my patients. I want you to know that there are answers out there and not to give up. And if you're not satisfied with the results you're getting, or that if you're suffering, or you've been given a diagnosis and told that you have to take X, Y, and Z for the rest of your life and there's no other path, I want you to feel inspired to either reach out to us or find a functional medicine practitioner who can look and see how else they can help you.
Because also they have to pay everything out of pocket on their own. A lot of the stuff, like they gave me like some of this stuff for free, which I was so thankful for, because all this stuff costs anywhere from $300 to $500, and this is just pre-treatment. This is just something to try to get the pathogens out of my tissues and out of my bones and my organs, so that I can take a test that's going to cost me $2.7K just to try to test positive on that test, because right now we don't even have any accurate testing for pathogens or microbes at all. You guys think we have all this type of testing? No, we have testing for maybe the first 1 to 2 weeks an active infection, but for chronic infections we have no testing.
The tests for Lyme disease were developed more than a decade ago. They were controversial back then, and in all this time no better tests have been approved, even though almost everyone agrees there are problems with the current tests.
About 50% of people who actually have Lyme disease are negative in their test results with existing methods. If you're unlucky and you have real disease, but you test negative, your disease is still real and you still require treatment.
So our daughter, Natalie, was infected with Lyme disease a few years ago, almost went blind from it, and the test took 4 days, and I thought, just give me the DNA from her spinal fluid. I'll go tell you what's in it, if it's Lyme disease or not. They refused. And so at that point I said, this has to be done better. So I started a company that now can take a sample of any part of your body. It's typically done now with liver transplant patients to detect viruses that come out of their organs. But that's another area that AI is extremely important for.
This is the test that I'm going to have to take. And then on top, mold and metal test, food sensitivity test. It's pricey, but it's going to be worth it, because this is what I need to do to even prove to the CDC and the insurance company that I'm sick. I've been sick and I need help. I need things to be covered, like antibiotics and things like that. And that's exactly what we're doing with this treatment here. Is just going to try to get all the pathogens that we can to pop up in my blood. And with the test that I'm getting, it's so expensive because PCR testing, which is testing of the blood and seeing if there's direct DNA pieces of these pathogens. So the thing is, I have to make sure that some of these DNA pieces are in my blood, because right now they're so buried into my skin tissues and organs and joints that they're hidden. They won't pop up in any normal test. So I have to take all these things to kind of irritate them, bring them out, kill them, and have their DNA in my blood so I can test positive to prove to these fuckers that I'm sick, and I've been sick for most of my life and I need help and treatment. Again, I'm thankful for the doctors that are able to treat me, because they can lose their license. They actually want to be silent about this and don't want to speak towards anything about awareness and stuff, just because of the fact they just want to help people and they don't want to be bothered, and they can't really do their job in peace if they even try to bring awareness. So it's like they have to pick a side. Do I go and bring awareness, or do I actually save people's lives? So I'm really thankful to have found these people, and yeah, we're going to take you guys on this journey of trying to go through this treatment and see what happens.
That's also where you come in.
Yeah.
Bring awareness to it.
And then even he's going to go on the same treatment too, because again, after being with a partner that's chronically ill for a long term of time, you're going to have the same effects. I mean, these are microbes. They transfer through saliva, sexual fluids, reproductive fluids. They transfer through everything. So after a long amount of time, things are going to happen. I've already gotten treatment for things such as H. pylori, which is a stomach cancer causing bacteria. I believe I got it from tick, because they are found in ticks. I did test for it before on acute testing, and it came up somewhat positive, and that was like years and years ago. So
but
it's
that's on conventional
testing.
And if you have this little bit,
yeah,
which means you do have it, even though it's not up to here. Oh no, you don't have it. It's not enough.
Yeah, it's like you have a little bit, but it's not enough. Like, yeah, what?
Unless the Carlos can see a microphone real quick.
How about you don't fuck little kids?
That's what this world. You can see
Yeah.
the big microphone is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go through this, see how our bodies react. I literally have an entire schedule written out for the entire week. It's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be our lives for the next few weeks.
For the rest of your life.
And then I'm also gonna be attempting to raise money for the testing kit in about 3 weeks to a month. If anyone would like to help, my GoFundMe is always in my links and descriptions. Anything I raise above my goal, I'll be redonating to other chronic illness patients to get their testing and their treatment too, because obviously this is not something an average 9-to-5 worker could just afford on top of all the bills. So it's really hard for people to even try to think about getting help, and I would like to try to help to do that. So that's why we're doing this. So at this point, there's not really like a set schedule. My doctor said whatever kind of schedule I can go for to go with like the parasites is best, especially with us, him being a DJ and on the radio, it's like a lot of late nights. So our schedule's pretty much switched, just because that's the way it's adjusted with the club times. And again, I will have to be on treatment and going out and about and just trying to live my life, but anyone's gonna have to do that. You can't just stop life. So we'll see how everything goes. Alright, so we're at Whole Foods Market right now. We went to 2 different vitamin stores. I just looked them up on Google, vitamin or supplement stores. They didn't have that I needed, so we're coming here to Whole Foods and then we're gonna try Sprouts. We have a whole load of we need here. We need ICP, olive leaf, transfer factors, Pribo Max, some Espen salt, melatonin, magnesium, Bolimex, Body Anew, Pecana, gluten thiamine. However the you say half this and we're trying to figure this out. So let's go.
Many hours later.
So we're now at the 4th or 5th place. We're at the vitamin shop, Shopee, whatever you want to call it. See if they have any. And literally, we haven't found at any of the stores. Only the olive leaf extract, and that's it. So after this, we're gonna check here and then go to CVS and then call it a day because it's Sunday, sun's setting, things are about to close. Let's go see. So just got out of the vitamin shop. We literally got one thing, the olive leaf extract. This is at all the stores, but we thought, okay, we could get that at the store we finally find all our stuff at, but unfortunately we didn't find. So we're probably gonna go back to the doctor and go through their own shop that they have of specifically shop for vitamins that are hard to come by. Obviously, for some reason, local shops don't want to carry this stuff. So until tomorrow or next week that we actually get this stuff, I'll update everyone. Okay, so after going to CVS, we did end up going and getting my vitamin D. Oh, look at this girl. What are you doing, Mama Bear? I'm in the middle. What? Get it. We did end up getting my vitamin D at 50,000 unit capsule, whatever, at 50,000. So it's a hell of a lot. And we also, of course, ended up getting the olive leaf extract at 500 milligrams. I'm supposed to take it twice a day, and that's for immune support. So we ended up not being able to find any of the herbs or medications that I needed in any kind of local store anywhere. So we ended up having to go and buy it on their online supplement shop, which they were able to ship to me pretty fast. And we got the boxes. We had to drive out 30 minutes out of town at my man's parents' house to get the box, just because we're in not such a good neighborhood. We've had boxes stolen before. So let me show you guys what I got. So first they ended up sending me my test. So this is my all godly test that I'm gonna need to figure out everything, mainly everything that's wrong with me. So let me show you guys a little bit. Okay, so here's like the information page. You know, I have to fill out, if you can see, these individual ones are pretty expensive. So this can be pretty confusing, but this is basically all individual tests, and that's why it can be looking like pretty crazy expensive. Here's some of the panels. One that I will be getting is right here at 2.621. It is the most expensive test on this panel, but you get everything to test for. You get the most sensitive test. Obviously there's still a possibility to have false positive or a false negative, but this is the best test that you can get on the market. It's definitely worth it, because especially the fact that if these things come back positive, then I will be able to claim that yes, I have been sick on my insurance, and they should be able to reimburse me or cover me for at least something, since they technically don't believe in any of this stuff. And this is cool. It comes with the vials and everything ready to go. So there's my test. Once I'm able to raise that much money, I'll be able to send this test off. Let's hope and pray I can. So now for my starting pre-treatment before my actual treatment. Basically gonna be a bacteria and parasite cleanse. I'll be taking all these daily, if not twice a day. So I might go through something called herxing, which is just all of my symptoms just intensify. So I'm gonna be super sick, super weak, going through it, but it's worth going through it to try to get better, obviously. Let's start with this. Body anew. Homeopathic cleanse detox. Lungs, kidney, colon, liver. So this is going to be my detox of my body. Transfer factor multi-immune. This is going to basically give my immune system eyes to see any bacteria or any invaders, so it can help the attack. Probiomax, 100 billion. Polymex oral drops. Supports relief of minor symptoms related to tick-borne diseases, so that's pretty straight up. This I have to actually put in the fridge or in the refrigerator. So this is actually on my doctor's note. She says that this is for when I herx, so when I go through really bad symptoms, to use this to kind of support my body. This probably the most important one, because this is basically what's going to drive any bacteria and parasites that are stubborn in my body, drive them out or kill them off. So all their die-off and their toxins are releasing in my body, so that's what's ultimately gonna make me feel sick. So my doctor says start with just a little drop of this a day. Once I can get up to 20 drops, then that's when I can start my next part of treatment, which is going to be a little bit of the harder stuff, which is the antibiotics and other stuff that I don't quite know about yet, but I'm learning about this stuff. So once I can handle this and all of this, then I move on to my main treatment. We're gonna start on all of this after Halloween and after all this craziness. We're gonna document everything that happens, whether I feel really good or feel really bad, and I'm gonna document everything through treatment. In a month I'll have to go back to slow and go to my doctors and probably get some IV treatment, so we're gonna document that and show you guys everyone with tick-borne diseases what they have to go through.
There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
take glutathione. I don't even know how much is a teaspoon. Do we even have measuring things?
Let's see.
So what this does is help filter your kidneys and liver to help your toxins run through well. So especially going through treatment, I'm gonna need a lot of the toxins to exit my body, so this will help support that. I don't like strange things.
What?
I don't like strange liquids. I don't even like drinking or taking shots. How am I gonna take these things?
So right now it's on orange, 1 teaspoon.
Ready?
Yeah.
When you react or have a bad reaction to these things, it's called herxing or Herxheimer reaction. Herxheimer reaction is the abrupt onset of fever, chills, myalgia, arthritis, headaches, tachycardia, fast heart rate, hyperventilation, flushing, and mild hypotension hours after treatment of a spirochetal infection. Herx reactions are different among every person because everyone deals with different severity in illness, strength in immune system, and overall wellness in general. Some may experience no physical symptoms and may only experience mental symptoms such as extreme anxiety, depression, and fatigue. Some may experience extreme physical symptoms such as Bell's palsy, partial facial paralysis, full body paralysis, random bouts of seizures and strokes, and cognitive decline and dysfunction. Depending on how many infections one may be dealing with, how severe the infections are, how long they have adapted with the body, how strong the treatment medication is, all will affect the outcome of a Herx reaction. All the pathogens and parasites inside the body are trying to run and hide throughout different organs of the body. Infections of Lyme disease and vector-borne illness can invade any part of the body, muscle, tissues, organs, bones, anything. Once treatment methods actively kill the pathogens and parasites, the dead bodies leave extremely toxic die-off that the body will need help to properly detox. Most of all, don't be scared of a Herx reaction. It is a good sign that your body is fighting something, fighting infections, fighting pathogens, fighting toxicity, whatever it may be, but it's fighting something and it's fighting hard. And at least there is the will to fight. Most of all, just be gentle with yourself, pay attention to small symptoms, and the fact that your body talks to you every single day. Be your own doctor, figure out what symptoms are bothersome the most, and listen to your body, and you will be able to find healing soon. Stay strong, warriors. So we're supposed to drink this whole thing?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to drink this whole thing in one shot. I'm gonna have to sip on this.
Try to drink as many big gulps as possible.
Alright.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm with you. Salud.
Salud.
It's got a flavor, but it ain't bad to me.
I did not mean to have that bad of a reaction.
I felt like I've had worse from the club.
Yeah.
You okay, baby?
Trying.
Alright, baby, you got this. You got this. Chug. Get down. You're good. You're good.
Definitely have a chaser with that. Thing is, it's like, it wasn't bad. It tastes like water. Like if you just chug it and you don't even think or even smell or do nothing, it's fine. It's just that after flavor that sticks on your tongue that you have to wash down.
It's like on the top of your tongue, it's on the side of your tongue, and it's in the back.
To be honest with you, it tastes like toilet water. I'm not gonna say I drank no toilet water, but you know when the toilet overflows and you smell it, like that's what it tastes like. Is what or that nasty. You go to LA and go to the fucking Venice Beach fucking public bathrooms, or you go to a porta potty. It smells like you just take a drink of the water.
Okay, up next. What's next on the menu?
Body and new.
Alright, some more water mixtures.
It's gonna help support the lymph nodes and lungs, help support the kidneys, help support the colon and liver. I'm supposed to take this like 3 times a day. So what we're gonna do is just add 1 drop of each, and we have to do that 3 times a day. Okay, so 1. You have to do things like this, and you can't just jump into straight antibiotics because they hide and they create biofilm.
A biofilm forms when bacterial cells adhere to a surface and produce a matrix of extracellular polymeric substances, EPS, a sticky type of glue-like material. Bacteria are typically 200 times harder to kill with antibiotics or disinfectants inside a biofilm. And whilst they're alive, they remain a threat to patients. The bacteria will continue to grow until the biofilm is disturbed or free bacteria are released.
And you need this to make them come out to even try to kill them. So it's a very strategic treatment plan that you have to do when you have things like autoimmune diseases and Lyme disease.
Dude, I don't taste anything.
Yeah, I don't taste anything, but it's just my mind trying to ignore my mind from saying there's something in there, there's something in there. I'm trying not to think about it. So part of our own alternative treatment that we go about is taking dabs, which is cannabis concentrate. So whenever we don't feel good or our body aches, we take dabs. We've actually found that can you get comfortable, bro? Dabs and cannabis concentrates have actually been what have been keeping me alive this entire time. And although it's not the treatment, it's part of the treatment, and it's helped my immune system be able to fight. I started smoking at the age of 13, but I started heavily smoking after the age of like 17, and now I'm 25 and non-stop dabbing every single day. And honestly, that's what's keeping me alive. That's what lets me eat. That's what let me drink. That keeps me out of the hospital. Comes with symptoms, puts everything pretty much dormant. And with my test results, my doctor actually had asked me, what are you doing for your CD 5, 7, and 8 natural killers? So these are just natural killers within your immune system. And mine were extremely high. It's like, what medicine are you taking? What are you doing to support this? That's amazing. And honestly, it's really just been the cannabis concentrates, every now and then CBD oil. So that's really an amazing type of study for cannabis and how it affects the body and what it actually does for the immune system. And again, not everyone can just go straight into dabbing. So many people have gone to the hospital. People have to understand, again, it has nothing to do with the stupid made-up cannabis syndrome that doctors made up, conventional doctors made up, and people want to pass around. Conventional doctors use syndromes like CHS to improperly diagnose and target patients with normal labs who use cannabis to relieve pain symptoms that these doctors have no actual correct answers for. Basically, if you show up to the hospital with stomach pains and you've ever used cannabis or hot showers to relieve your pain, and you've ever had normal blood work or somewhat normal blood work, you will be diagnosed with CHS. Again, syndromes are literally just a group of symptoms that has a label on it. That's literally the definition for it. They're not the underlying cause. It's not a real diagnosis. It's a syndrome. And syndromes are literally just a label for a set of symptoms. Yeah. That's it. It's not an actual diagnosis. It's not what's actually wrong with you. So people have to realize it has nothing to do with some made-up syndrome. It has everything to do is that cannabis is a herb. Just like any other herb that there is, lavender, there's oregano, all sorts of different herbs in the world that people can be allergic to. People can be allergic to freaking grass still. Basically, you have 3 main allergic reactions: a mild allergy reaction, a Herx reaction, and an anaphylaxis reaction. Pause the video to see the symptoms of each one. A lot of people can be allergic to cannabis itself, or they should take certain extractions of it. You know, there's CBN, there's CBD, THCA. There's so many different extractions. There's so many different extractions of cannabis that people should look into to be a part of their treatment plan or something that will actually help them, and not just assume smoking a joint and they're gonna get cured and they have a bad reaction. Oh, then cannabis doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's different. Everyone's completely unique. Everyone has all different reactions. For my body, this is what helps my immune system. If you're gonna get into concentrates, you do have to start small, but I feel like cannabis tree itself has more toxins, has things that more make you kind of nauseous and sick.
Here.
concentrates have never really made me feel sick ever, and it's because it's the most pure form that you can get. You can just smush the flower and get rosin, cannabis concentrate, and dab that, and that's one of the best things that you can get out of cannabis.
Organic.
So what we have here is what this is called RSO oil. So this is another type of extraction of cannabis. It's kind of expensive because this is an actual treatment that cancer patients use. Cancer patients use this just by itself to cure cancer cells and to actually cure cancer within the body.
Proven.
Yeah, it has been proven. That's why so many cancer patients are switching to RSO oil and different alternative methods, because to be honest, the chemotherapy and the radiation is all just fully experimental, and it's really just the only thing that conventional medicine offers on top of some kind of steroids. And that's really the alternative medicine, because that's the harshest thing you can do to your body, is just bomb the whole body to try to get rid of the one invader, the one needle in the haystack. Let's light the whole haystack on fire. That doesn't make any sense. You have to go in there with some kind of protection, and
also it makes money.
Exactly.
Even though this is pricey up front and it's pricey for a minute, it nowhere near comes over
the total of the overall cost of
trying to treat cancer,
of prescriptions, of steroids, of chemotherapy,
going to treatment.
Yeah, going to treatment, seeing the doctor, co-pays, all that kind of stuff. And for what, in remission, and go through all this hell that your body's gonna basically fail on you just to try to get this alternative treatment. That's a really harsh thing to do on the body.
Time to celebrate on a day Joy Smith never expected to see. Once told her cancer was terminal, now her medical team say she's clear, and she says it's thanks to this, cannabis oil.
I went to see my consultant, and she said that there was nothing left to see. She was quite happy to take me off my treatment. I just couldn't believe it when I came out. I was just so excited. I kept pinching myself all day. It was just, is it real? I couldn't believe it. And I'm still here, and I feel really well.
So we're gonna try out RSO oil because this helps within the body all sorts of things. It's like CBD on crack, basically. You're only supposed to take like a little grain of rice, like under your tongue.
RSO.
Here's the first one. So RSO is all black.
Under your tongue?
Yeah.
Grain and rice. Alright, let's see. Oh shit. I clicked it, it didn't want to move. I barely put any pressure and then it just
What am I supposed to do now? I forgot.
You got maybe like 2 grains of rice, okay? Maybe 3.
That's what it tastes like, is a strong ass brownie your homie made or something. But yeah, we're supposed to put a spoonful of like ice cream or a gummy or something and like eat it that way. So I thought it was like CBD where you had to like hold it in your mouth or something.
I'll do the same way.
Oh shit. I did the same thing. Okay, tomorrow, because you're supposed to also run it under some hot water so it comes out nice and smooth. And if you're doing this at home, just take a little rice grain, because we can take a little bit more. We're used to like dabbing.
We have a high tolerance.
Yeah, but for other people, some people have been like, damn, RSO has fucked me up. You can't take more than a grain of rice. Da da da. We'll see. So right now we're gonna take a dab, make some food. He's gonna record his mixes. So yeah, this is Wedding Crashers. Shout out Flora Stone. Get their baller jars, which is like 3.5 grams, which is great for us who dab, get constantly sick. We're gonna have some breakfast, and then we're gonna take another set of medications and then go on from there. So we're gonna try some real eggs and just eggs. egg, which is not egg at all. It's supposed to be all vegan scrambled egg. And I love scrambled eggs, so we're going to see how this tastes and how it cooks. The real egg. So here's the texture. It's pretty thick. Just egg. So texture is just a little bit more watery, but we'll see how it cooks. So here's the real one. And just egg. So I prepped them exactly the same, so we'll see if they taste exactly the same. It's not bad. I'm all about smells. It didn't smell too crazy, but I'm sure if you made like an omelet out of it, it'd be good. So after breakfast, we gotta take olive leaf. It is good for your immune system. It helps fight against any type of virus. And we're doing Mike P, which is actually probably the most important part of treatment. This is from Research Nutritional. This is only made in 2018. So this is brand new, along with some other type of microbial targeted herbal tinctures. So most holistic practitioners or alternative doctors, they'll prescribe a whole lot of different supplements like cat's claw, olive leaf, all separate different supplements, and have them take that throughout the day. Basically what this is all those supplements extracted in the most strongest way and form into a tincture. This is the strongest form of herbal tincture, and what herbs do is they're actually the only type of medicine that we have that actually targets microbes. Yeah, we know antibiotics, but they are antibiotic resistant now. They have biofilm. They already have the DNA against certain antibiotics. So basically this hunts down any type of like bacteria, viruses, pathogens, any stubborn microbials or microbes that are in the body. First, we start off on 1 drop, and then we have to work our way up all the way to about 20 drops. And once I get to 20 drops, then I can start the next part of treatment. And right along with that is the transfer factor from also Research Nutritionals. This gives my immune system eyeballs to see these things, because they're able to actually change their genetic DNA to disguise themselves as a normal part of the body. So what that does is give my immune system the eyes to say, hey, wait a minute, you're not natural, you're actually a foreigner. So the actual ingredients in this: a full adult dose is 40 drops twice per day. That's a lot. 40 drops twice a day. And again, it's been shown like herbals have worked for, in 2015, Tu Youyou got the Nobel Prize for finding the basically cure for malaria from an ancient Chinese herbal that she knew from her culture. And she mixed that with science and found basically a cure for one of the worst diseases that we know.
Malaria has been haunting humans for as long as we've existed. And for a long time, there was no widely known cure that worked on all strains of it. But in the 1970s, the scientist Tu Youyou identified an ancient Chinese remedy that eventually became one of the main modern defenses against this disease. And thanks to her, it's now saved countless lives over the last 50 years. At 16, she got sick with tuberculosis and had to leave school for 2 years. And after she recovered, she became determined to find cures for illnesses like the one she'd experienced. So she studied pharmaceutics at Beijing Medical College and later went on to study at the Academy of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Then, Tu started her career as a researcher. She studied herbs used in traditional Chinese medicine as a way of treating parasitic infections. And that soon made her the perfect person for a very important job. In 1967, during the Vietnam War, North Vietnam reached out to China for medical help. At the time, malaria was spreading among its troops and they were dying in large numbers. To make matters worse, the parasite that causes malaria had become resistant to the main treatment they were using, called chloroquine. So China put together an initiative called Project 523 to find a cure for this deadly strain of malaria, and in 1969, Tu became the head of it. Once they had a better understanding of the disease, Tu and her team returned to Beijing and started looking for remedies in ancient Chinese medical texts. Since malaria has been around for so long, it was a frequent topic in these writings, and the team had over 2 millennia's worth of work to study, so they got down to business. They tested 240,000 compounds on mice that had been infected with malaria, and nothing worked. But then, while looking back over her notes, Tu found an interesting reference to the herb qinghao, also known as sweet wormwood. She had tested qinghao before and found that it had some effect, but it wasn't reliable enough to make this herb a serious choice for treatment. The reference made her dig a little deeper, though. And while reading a text from around 400 CE, Tu realized that the authors weren't boiling the leaves to collect the extract as she'd done. Instead, they were immersing the leaves in water and wringing out the juice. Basically, they were making an extract of qinghao without heating it at all. So, Tu tried following those instructions. She made what's called an ether solution, where the leaves are steeped in a mixture of water and alcohol. This extracted the active compounds in the herbs without breaking them down, as boiling can do. And this time, when she tested the compound on mice and monkeys, it cured malaria 100% of the time. Now, they still hadn't tried it out on humans, though, so as a final step, Tu and her colleagues tested the medicine for side effects on themselves. Then they delivered it to 21 patients on Hainan Island, and incredibly, every single one of them recovered. As it turned out, the key to this life-saving cure was an active compound from the wormwood plant called artemisinin. And it's effective against malaria because of the way it interacts with the parasites that cause the disease. And in 2015, Tu received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. But in spite of all the honors she's received, Tu has said that her biggest accomplishment is doing something to help the world. And there is no doubt that millions of people have survived or lived healthier lives thanks to her.
So this hopefully can do the same thing. So there is a mic pee. Time for it to put the eyeballs.
Yep.
Damn.
How big?
Ooh. Lord have mercy. They sting.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I'm so sensitive. I'm supposed to be making a good example.
You got it, baby.
Got it.
Body and you again.
So this is a probiotic, and this is 100 billion. So back then, I had no clue what a probiotic was or what it even did. Probiotics are good bacteria that goes into your gut microbiome. They're basically the good guys that fight the bad guys inside of your stomach. Alright, now we're gonna make dinner. Wagyu burgers. Wagyu. The only thing I would say though is to try to not get any antibiotics in there, because of course with the whole antibiotic resistant huge problem that we have going on right now, that will kill over 10 million people a year if we don't take care of it. So that's the only bad thing. I was just in a rush, so I wasn't checking. Again, everyone is different. Some people are completely allergic to red meat. Some people are allergic to gluten. Everyone's different, so some people can live off only meat. Until you take your own food sensitivity test and food allergy test, you won't know. Should you be on the couch? Should you be on the couch? No, Mama. No, you shouldn't be. Not.
Hey, Zach, don't be capping now.
Many hours later.
Alright, so it's been like an hour, almost an hour after dinner, so now we're doing after dinner stuff. I'm all tired.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah, one.
What is this, legal ayahuasca?
Basically. What the heck are you doing? You're supposed to be there? You're supposed to. Are you gaming my mouth? Are you gaming my mouth? Did you just become a father, my mouth? Yeah, he did. Hi, baby Memo. Tired. Hi, beautiful girl. This is my Coca Bear. Where are your babies? Are you hiding your babies? Oh, there's one. You are hiding them. There's two other ones. There's the other one. You ready to come eat? Get some food, Memo. Keep it right here so she's always in and out watching them. Need to make food. I can get the fuck. I have so many animals that we've rescued, but we love them all and hate them.
Let's make a hit.
Yes, those are holes in my wall. If anyone knows Lyme, knows the Bartonella and Lyme temper. Don't judge me. Anyways, so here I was doing a really awesome online event called the Virtual Lyme Fly-In, hosted by LymeDisease.org, which I would definitely advise if you want to stay up with any of the latest Lyme disease news. Definitely give LymeDisease.org a follow, whether it's on their actual website, follow their email, their Instagram, all their social medias. They do a lot of awesome information on Lyme disease and spread a lot of awareness. But this was a really awesome online event. This was actually where you could just be a normal person, Lyme patient, or just whoever, and join in on this movement and be able to actually talk to your state government officials, your senators, your congressmen, and you got to tell your story. You got to tell why it was important that Lyme disease got more government funding. There was many different things to learn about this, and it was an awesome experience. I got to learn so many new things, and I got to meet so many new people, and this was the start of a very awesome journey. LymeDisease.org actually does this every single year. If you're interested, and if you can be anyone, you could be a Lyme patient, you can not be a Lyme patient, you could just be a supporter and want to make a difference, you can sign up. I feel really bad because if I would have uploaded this just a few days before, even a week before, people would have been able to sign up and join the movement, which would be going on right now. You know, they need a lot more support. The Lyme disease movement, for it being a pandemic, it does not get a lot of support. Hopefully these upcoming years we get a lot more support and hopefully bring a lot more awareness to our actual government officials, because we don't realize that they actually have no clue what's going on. They have no idea the corruption behind Lyme disease and the CDC and the IDSA and everything they're doing, and how they don't even consider chronic Lyme a real disease, and all the different insects that spread Lyme disease, and it's all brand new to them. It's all surprise, and it's really awesome to be able to educate these people and to try to make a difference. So if you're interested, definitely sign up, definitely give you a follow, and here's a little bit of a peek of it. Hi, can you hear me? Like, what do we do now? Like, we just wait here or what? Oh, okay. All right, see you there.
Let's make a hit. Hey, Zach Crown, don't be capping now. Let's make a hit.
So now I have to call these new doctors. I think this is recording. I have to call these new doctors because I was on the pre-treatment to get the testing done this week. It was supposed to be like 2-3 weeks on this pre-treatment and then go get the test done. And next thing you know, I Facebook messaged my doctor, just curious, like, oh, what test would you recommend? And next thing you know, she's just like, oh, I resigned from my job as of the 30th of this month, and my appointment is the 14th of next month. And I just made that appointment. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, I'm just starting treatment, I just started this process. Like, God. So now I have to start this process all over again. But luckily my doctor recommended another doctor that's also 2 hours away in Pismo Beach, which was another doctor I was originally looking at. It was my other choice besides her. The only problem is they're a lot more expensive. They're probably like double the price. That's why I was really happy to have found the doctors I did have, because they're really nice and would be able to put me through all the right treatment and be at a somewhat decent price. Starter price is like $500 and every appointment after is like $100, which is really not bad. But now we're have to go through this whole process again. Like, I'm not gonna be taking my test this week. I'm still gonna be on the same pre-treatment, because it's like, why stop when I've already started? Now we have to redo the first initial appointment with this doctor, see him, see what to do, see if my pre-treatment, if he even wants me on that, and then see about going about the test, which this is going to be a huge setback on money for trying to do the test, because we'll see how much all this stuff adds up to just to see the doctor, just to get to the point to try to take the test, just to pay for the test, and then I have to get on treatment. So yeah, that's always fun. Okay, so let's talk to the doctor. I already called them earlier, but I think I may have given them the wrong number. So I'm gonna call them and then write down all the information about them and see how it goes.
Thank you for calling Pacific Naturopathic Medical Center. Help you?
Hi, can I talk to the person who schedules the appointments? I may have gave her the wrong number. Okay, and then can I also confirm some information if you know really quick? I need to write down the information about how much the price is for the initial appointment and the follow-up appointments.
So there, I think right now looking at $695 to $795.
$695 to $795. Okay.
Yeah, and then most of the time for follow-up, probably about $245 to $345.
$245 to $345. Okay, I just want to get about a range. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. And then they'll give you a call back to confirm everything else.
Okay,
And then
sounds
definitely
great.
can pick their brains some more. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I know the other lady put it better, because she's like, you just want to make sure you know that this is not covered by any kind of insurance. You can try to do a super bill and bill your insurance later, which that's the whole reason why I'm going through the testing, is to try to prove, hey, I'm sick, so I need this shit covered. Because I know the herbals and all that will never be covered, and that's like the most important part of treatment. Because out-of-pocket antibiotics are really fucking expensive. So initial appointment's gonna be around, yeah, no matter what, it's around $700 to $800. So they put $695 to $795. Just put $700 to $800. That's our rent. Okay, so let me call my mom.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, baby girl.
Hey. Because this week I was supposed to take my test, and so I know my doctor on Facebook, so I was messaging her. I just talked to them, and now I have to find this out on a Facebook message.
Wow.
And
Okay, Sammy. I know you probably already checked and everything. There's gotta be a way that our insurance can cover at least part of it.
the thing is, it's the same thing here, so they do the whole super bill, and then we'll try to get back later. But at least with these doctors, they actually have a program to get your money back for all the tests. So at least these doctors, they have all that kind of programs to sign up for to do that. So now I just have to put a deposit of $200 to hold the appointment, and then yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's crazy. But
Do you
they,
have to do all this medication again, or are they gonna give you another diagnosis?
I mean, it's just the same thing. It's Lyme disease, chronic Lyme disease, and we need another dab. Or a blunt. We have a blunt.
We have blunts.
The fall, I needed to move. I couldn't be safe. I couldn't be you. I'm coming for everything that I couldn't be.
Possible. You can take a little more time with it.
Let's make a hit.
Here's the IGeneX labs. So Borrelia, which is Lyme, says that it's negative. Well,
There's more to the story than that. So Zithromax with food, you'll take Doxy 200 milligrams in the morning, 200 milligrams at night. Everything okay with that? Add in the rifampin.
Okay.
Rifampin will make your urine turn orange. So don't freak out.
Okay.
Tears can turn orange too. That's another freaky thing. But it's just a medication.
Yeah.
Let's make a hit.